Chapter 46. Bel boweth down, Nebo stoopeth. Their idols are upon the beast, and upon the cattle. The things that are carried about are made a load and a burden to be to the weary beast. They stoop, they bow down together. They could not deliver the burden, and themselves are gone into captivity. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, that are born by me from the birth, that are carried from the womb. Even to old age I am the same, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear. Yes, I will carry, and will deliver. To whom will you liken me, and make me equal, and compare me, that we may be alike? You that lavish gold out of a bag, and weigh silver in a balance, you that hire a goldsmith, that he make it a god, to fall down thereto, yes, to worship. He is borne upon the shoulder, he is carried, and he is set in his place. He standeth, from his place he doth not remove. Yes, though one cry unto him, he cannot answer, nor save him out of his trouble. Remember this, and stand fast. Bring it to mind, O you transgressors. Remember the former things of old, that I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand, and all my pleasure will I do, calling a bird of prey from the east, the man of my counsel from a far country. Yes, I have spoken, I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed, I will also do it. Hearken unto me, you stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. I will place salvation in Zion, for Israel my glory. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. Now, yesterday we had finished up with Cyrus. We were these prophecies about Cyrus, even the Cyrus of the end time, this one who possesses the furnace, this one who controls this furnace, even where the souls are being cast in and burned, is a judgment of God. Even Cyrus, this mighty king of the furnace. God, we find that God had went before him and opened all the doors and unlocked all the doors and made his way prosperous now. God had done this, and because God was using it, God was making an example. Cyrus was the servant of God. Cyrus was God's shepherd, and we will find that this is what the Bible declares. And we will also find out that God declared himself as those who strive like potsherds strive, even the potsherds of the earth. And these are those who don't know who God is. They go around saying, oh, this is God, this is God, this is God, but that is the work of hands of men. That is not a God. That is an image. That is an idol they've made. These are the potsherds, and they argue, and they do, and they have their differences, and this is the same thing. They strive, even with each other, because they're blind. They're like blind men groping against a wall, and they have no understanding. This is the way God created them, and God even done this as an example. And these are the Cyrus, so to speak. These are those in the kingdom of Cyrus anyway. And they do go around, and what they do is they hunt the souls of men. This is a judgment God has sent, and they do deliver the men up to the furnace. God has done this. God has made this. God has declared he has done this. He said, this is what I'm going to do. And it's exactly what he did. He's been declaring it from the beginning, even with Abraham, when Abraham and Haran was cast into the furnace. And we kind of finished up with that yesterday. And today we are going to pick up in a period of time now where these idols have been destroyed, and there's going to be a confusion, because idolatry is carried away in idolatry. They have been taken away captive, even because those in idolatry are captive. They are a captive of the judgment of God in idolatry. And this is an example because they don't understand their idolatry. It's a magnificent work that God has done. And this is the example even that is set in the earth. We're going to pick up at verse 1. Baal boweth down, Nebo stoopeth. Their idols are upon the beast and upon the cattle. The things that you carried about are made a load, a burden to the weary beast. And Baal was a Lord image they had made, this image of a Lord. And he was an idol, an image made by man. He was not a god. And Nebo is stoopeth. That means he's bent down, bent over. And Nebo also was this not a god, this deity even of the word. And Nebo would mean prophet. 2. But what they've done is these were images that men would make, carve out, whittle, whether they was out of stone or out of wood. As we have found out, they've been out of wood and beat over with the smith, this goldsmith, that one who stole the gold from God and imputed it to his image. But they've took them now and they've loaded them up on their donkeys and on their oxes, and that's what these cattle are. These cattle represent the rulers. These cattle represent the priest, the prophet, all those that are in the position of leading, that take up this position, not appointed by God, but they've took it up on their own, appointed theirself, or somebody else appointed them that did not have the authority to do so. And they've carried these, they put them on them, and under the load, the weight of these idols, the animals have bowed down and are loaded. Even it's become a heavy burden to them. 2. And we would find that this great weight is due to the sin that is taken up by these, even the magnifying their sin by these. 2. They stoop, they bow down together, they could not deliver the burden, and themselves are gone into captivity. And this stoop, they have bent over, they are taken under the weight now and have come down to the ground. They could not deliver the burden. The burden was this not a god, this idol that they had made. They was unable to bring it to its full. They couldn't get it loaded up and carried over. And not only did the burden come to the ground with the beast that carried it, and they have both gone into captivity. Why? Because this is a God that's done this. God done this, see. God made the smith. He formed it up. He set it up on the ass, and the ass could not deliver the load. The weight of it became so great, and he had made his idol so huge and large that the little ass could not bear it up. 3. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, that are born by me from the birth, that are carried from the womb. Listen unto God, you house of Jacob, all the remnant of the house of Israel. And Israel is all these nations that's been scattered out in the world from when the king of Assyria conquered them. That's when Israel was driven out. There was just Judah left. And we'll find out that this Israel he's talking about are these ones that come up out of Judah even then. These ones that have escaped, they called Israel then. But these that are born, these that know who God is, you have understanding. God has put it in your heart. See, God has carried you from the birth, from the day you was born. He has carried you from the womb. And this womb here is this, even this womb of this world, this womb of understanding that you have to be born from. And this is the birth. This is the birth. From this moment that you awakened inside, and we're going to find out this inner man awakens. This one on the inside, not the fleshful man on the outside, this one that the inner man uses now to navigate through this world. 4. Even to old age I am the same, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, I will bear, yes, I will carry, and will deliver. See, we have the difference here between they're not a gods that they have to carve out and whittle up and set up on something, loaded on a truck, loaded on a donkey, loaded in a wagon, however you want to move it. You're going to have to move it. But see, God will move us. God carries us. That's the difference. See, you have to pack this thing around. God packs us around. See, God carries us. God keeps us. God watches over us because we are obedient to the law. See, and this brings us into the blessing of God. God says, even to your old age, even to your old age, from your birth to your old age, God has carried you. God will carry you. Why? Because He has chosen. See, He has chosen. He has put His law in your heart. From the day you were born, God spoke to you in your heart. 5. To whom will you liken me and make me equal and compare me that we may be alike? What are you going to make that looks like God? No one ever seen God. No one's seen no image when He spoke out of the fire. No one's seen any image. What will you make? Hey, well, we find out what it looked like. The smith made it, and he compared it. And 6. You that lavish gold out of a bag and weigh silver in the balance, you that hire a goldsmith, that he make it a god to fall down thereto, yes, to worship. Those that have lavished gold out of a bag, that's what belonged to God anyway. They had in that little bag, and weigh the silver in the balance. These that they caused to pass through the fire, this is a judgment. They hire a goldsmith, these ones that know how to steal from God. They take those things that belong to God and they impute them into an image. They're not a God, and they fall down to it, and they worship it. This is error. This is error. God says, do not do this thing. But they do, as an example, not only to us so we can witness that God did this, just like He said He was going to do. That's how powerful God is. 7. He is borne upon the shoulder. He is carried and set in His place. He standeth from His place. He doth not remove. Yes, though one cry unto Him, He cannot answer, nor save him out of his trouble. All He does is stand there. It's all He can do is stand there. Why? Well, men had to pack that in there and stand it up. See, He didn't walk in there on its own. Men had to pack it in there and stand it up. See, men had to build it up even over a long period of time and stand it up. Well, that's what God said He was going to do, though. See? And you'll even be able to see it from a great distance. Because that's the sign. That's how God lifts things up. This is how God lifts stuff up. You want to lift something up? See? Let God help you a little bit. 8. Remember this and stand fast. Bring it to mind, O you transgressors. Remember this. Stand still. Yeah. Remember it, you transgressors. Because this is what God's done to you. See? I remember a story of Elisha and his buddy when they come out to all the army had surrounded them, and he made them blind, delivered them to the city, and when they opened their eyes, they found themselves there surrounded. Remember that? This is a very similar situation. See, but they didn't kill them; they fed them. 9. Remember the former things of old, that I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. Remember the beginning. Remember of the old days. Remember when He was God, and there was none else. Remember when He is God, and there was none like God. There is none like God. All these images, all these things that men have made, trying to make it God, and they can't do no good in the world. The world becomes more perverted every day. perversion, immorality, injustice, justice, something bought and sold. That's all justice is today. It's another commodity. You can go down to the supermarket. You should be able to get you a can of justice off the shelf. 10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and all my pleasure will I do. See, God did this. From the beginning, he told us the end. From the beginning, told us the end. See, remember when they come into Jericho, and the spies did, and Rahab hit them? What'd she say? Oh, we've heard of you coming. See? Yeah, we done heard you was coming. And the people been running in terror. We knew God was coming. See? Calling a bird of prey, 11. Calling a bird of prey from the east, the man of my counsel from a far country. Yes, I have spoken. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed, I also do it, saith the Lord. Calling a bird of prey. Remember that bird of prey I spoke of? This thing that swoops down, this dark shadow. We know what happens when it swoops down. They cry out in fear, this great cry. This bird of prey from the east, this bird of prey from enlightenment. It ain't a buzzard or nothing. It's a man. Yeah, it's a man God sent in judgment. The man of my counsel from a far country. See, basically the same thing. See, the one that's going to come and perform God's judgment up in the earth. He's declared it from the beginning. He has spoken. He will bring it to pass. He has purposed. He will do it, and has, just like he said he would. 12. Hearken unto me, you stout-hearted that are far from righteousness. Hearken unto me, hearken unto God, you stout-hearted. This stout-hearted gives you the wrong understanding. This stout-hearted, this word is lib, and what that means is inner man. Listen unto me, you inner man, that are far from righteousness. Now, I'm not talking to the man on the outside, this flesh man. He's going to the grave, see. He's done been judged. God's done judged him. He is found in error. He is found wanting. He's weighed out in the balance. His salvation depends on the man on the inside. See, the man on the inside. He must make the man on the outside do what he wants. He has to make the man on the outside obedient to the law. He has to make himself obedient to the law first. See? Make himself obedient to the law first on the inside, and then the flesh has no choice but to follow. But this is not what we see into the world. And God says, listen unto me. 13. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off. My salvation shall not tarry. I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. I will bring near my justice. See, righteousness, once again, we just get that wrong intent from it. Righteousness is what it is justice. And justice comes from judgment. See, justice is something that is a gift, kind of. Justice is a gift given to the one who erred, so to speak. He gets justice, and his justice comes in a little gift called judgment. See, judgment. What? For your error. You fell down to idolatry. Did you think you would get reward for this? This is your reward. You can call it righteousness. You can call it that. It's justice, though. It's judgment from God. See, God's salvation doesn't work like that. God's salvation works when we are obedient to the law. Works when we do what God says. It doesn't work when we don't do what God says. See, when we don't obey the law, we get righteousness, justice, judgment from God. We get our just deserve That don't sound like righteousness in the intent of that, does it? Well, see, that that's what we're led to believe, this righteousness. It's justice from God. It's judgment from God. This is the salvation we see in the earth. This is salvation. Salvation comes to us in an example God has set in the earth. Salvation comes from the law when we make ourselves obedient. If you have to see God and you have to know who God is to be obedient to God, then look here and see this fire that God has built and how they cast the souls of men in them. See, there it is. That's that parched place. That's Zion right there. God burned it, parched it. Why? For Israel's sake. And he's going to make an example of it. See, and that's about the way it works right there. God makes an example. God does this though. See, men don't do these things. Men don't know what they do. Why? Well, God's daubed their eyes over and He's covered their ears. Oh, they dance around and they think they know it all. They dance around. Just like those that was dancing around the fire and dancing around that image they'd made when Moses come back down from the mountain with the law. See, there's nothing going to change. Nothing going to change. Yep, because they've taken of a devoted thing, and until this devoted thing is put away, nothing is going to change. Make yourself obedient to the law of God. Turn and return. All right, let's move to chapter 47.